First, it was an Aston Martin. The one that James Bond drove in Goldfinger. And then a few years later, it was the DeLorean from Back to the Future. And after that, the red Ferrari from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. When I was growing up, I spent a lot of time thinking about what kind of adult I would grow up to become. All the movies and TV shows that I watched contributed to a catalog of fantasies about what I do, how I dress, and what kind of car I'd drive. Maybe a custom Trans Am, like from Knight Rider, or a GMC Vandura, black with a red stripe like in the A-Team. Well, it wasn't until years later that I finally saw the movie that confirmed once and for all what I would drive when I grew up into the suave and sophisticated leading man. The suave and sophisticated leading man I always imagined myself becoming. The movie was Roman Holiday, and the main character was played by Gregory Peck. If you've seen it, you remember the scenes of him weaving through the streets of Rome on a little Vespa scooter, sharing the seat with Audrey Hepburn. So I saw that movie, and that was it. The Aston Martin, the DeLorean, the Ferrari, all forgotten. What I wanted was a scooter. I made no secret of it. I dropped unsubtle hints for years to all the people around me. And then, on my birthday last year, I came home to a present. It's perfect. Look at it. It has the classic Italian style. It's green with a white racing stripe. It's got a zippy little 170cc engine. I love it. And look at that picture. Tell me I don't look like Gregory Peck. So over the past year, since I received this wonderful birthday present from my family, I've spent a lot of time on the scooter. I've been using it to commute to temple and running errands around town. And before long, I realized that riding it changed the way I looked at the world, ever so slightly. And it taught me a few valuable lessons about life. Tonight, I want to share some of them with you as we begin this new year together. I am pleased to present to you 3 New Year's lessons from my scooter. The first lesson is absolutely vital. You've got to pay attention. You have to take extra care to stay safe, protect yourself from the things that can hurt you. You must wear a helmet. You must drive defensively. You have to avoid unnecessary risks, because on a scooter, you have fewer safeguards against accidents, and the equipment is less forgiving than a car. You have to take precautions and stay vigilant about the things that can be dangerous, which is also excellent advice for a new year. But increasing awareness is about more than personal safety. Today, we live in a hyper-distracted world. We multitask without even thinking about it. Our attention spans are sliced and diced into split-second windows. One benefit of riding the scooter is that you just don't have access to the things that distract you when you're driving a car. It's impossible to be on a cell phone when you're riding a scooter. There's no GPS, no climate control, there's not even an FM radio. The experience of riding a scooter awakens you into a sense of immediacy, a heightened awareness. It draws you constantly back to the present moment. You can't ignore the reality of the world around you. It demands that you stay fully present in the here and now. For centuries, religious mystics have taught us to build our capacity for mindfulness, to sharpen our awareness that, as the poet wrote, the earth is crammed with heaven and every common bush afire with God. Our whole world vibrates with beauty. Every moment an invitation to awe and wonder, and we sleepwalk through it all. We barely even notice. If we can train ourselves to be better at paying attention, we'll move through life filled with a new sense of abundance and gratitude. You must stay alert and stay aware. Lesson number 2, keep your balance and keep your mouth shut. Maneuvering on the scooter is a little different than in a car. It is agile and it's responsive, but it takes time to develop a feel for the right way to turn. You don't do it by yanking the handlebars, but instead by leaning softly into the curves, resisting the urge to tighten your grip. On the scooter and in a new year, the key to making graceful turns from wrong to right, from offense to reconciliation, lies in the ability to do so gently and patiently, avoiding rigidity and tension, trusting the forward momentum that keeps you upright. Today, it seems that the most extreme voices in politics and in culture are the ones who get the biggest TV contracts, the most attention in the press and on social media. But the truth is that the vast majority of us live closer to the moderate center than the radical fringes. If we succumb to the pull of fanaticism and extremism, we'll lose our balance and topple over to one side or the other. The ancient rabbis taught that truth is so complex and so multifaceted that one must be certain not to limit one's study to a single text or a single teacher. We have to remain open to compromise and curiosity if we hope to maintain our balance. And I'll also add the important corollary that another success factor in a brand new year is the ability from time to time to just shut your mouth. This is never something I ever stop to consider while driving my car. But on a scooter, if you ride with your mouth open, every leaf blower is like a jet-propelled salad bar. And every swarm of mosquitoes an all-you-can-eat buffet. It took one mouthful for me to change my ways permanently. On a scooter, you need to keep your mouth shut because you never know what may unexpectedly fly into it. But in life, you need to keep your mouth shut to prevent something unexpected from flying out of it. All of us remember times in our lives when we've seen relationships derailed, careers damaged, or reputations harmed because of an untimely word or an ill-considered phrase. The things we say in moments of anger or impatience can have long-lasting and even permanent consequences on the people we love. Unkind speech can inflict extraordinary damage, and almost all of us could benefit from taking just a little more time in this new year to think before we speak. And lesson number 3, it's important to maintain perspective, especially when you're traveling quickly. About 150 years ago, the rabbi of the Hasidic community of Novardok in Belarus taught his followers the following rule. When you're walking, if you look up to see your destination, it looks very far away. So you must also look down from time to time to realize that your feet are traveling rapidly. This will help keep you from losing faith in the progress you are making. In a car, we often don't realize how fast we're really traveling, but on a scooter, you quickly discover how fast 35 miles an hour really is. You're trying to pay attention to what's whizzing past you and at the same time maintain a long-distance view of what's waiting far down the road. Even before starting the ignition, you have to prepare yourself for detours and traffic jams, for the storms that may boil up with little notice, and the hot-headed Houston road rager who might shut down an entire freeway in an instant. This is good preparation for our new year as well. Sometimes incomprehensibly tragic circumstances arise without warning. If we're lucky, we can find shelter someplace safe and wait it out. But other times, all we can do is take a deep breath and brace for impact. Even for those of us who are expert planners, who budget our money carefully, who are diligent about preventive medical care, we prepare for every imaginable circumstance, the world will still manage to take us by surprise. And it can be unsettling and exhausting. Even if we think we know exactly where we're going, we're often caught off guard when we look up and see that we've wound up someplace unexpected. It happens to all of us. Even the strongest navigators drift off course, or we get so attached to where we're going that we fail to notice when a more interesting destination presents itself. It would be much easier if everything went according to plan, but of course, things rarely work out that way. When you're traveling at speed, you have to maintain a certain tolerance for spontaneity, because life's capacity to surprise us is one of its most wonderful characteristics. Some of the best things in the world are the things no one saw coming. I think of the poor Decca Records executive in 1962 who passed on signing the Beatles because they were sure that guitar music was on its way out. Or the CEO of Microsoft who opted not to bother competing with the new iPhone when it launched because there was no chance it would ever get any significant market share. Things will continue to move faster and faster in this new year and in the years to come, and we have to remain agile enough on our wheels that we won't go tumbling head over heels when something unexpected pops up in our path. The faster we're going, the more important it is that we keep a realistic perspective. Well, as it turns out, my grown-up life didn't turn out exactly the way I imagined it might when I was a kid. I didn't grow up to be a secret agent or drive a car that can travel back in time when it hits 88 miles per hour. But I've discovered unexpected inspiration from a year of dodging bugs and potholes behind the handlebars of my scooter. The scooter and I may never have zipped around the Piazza Navona with Audrey Hepburn, but we get where we need to go, and I'm grateful to it for having delivered me to this day, equipped with an important new outlook on life. And I think these lessons that it's delivered to me can be helpful to all of us in this new year. Let us remember to remain alert and stay aware, maintain balance in all things, and not allow the speed at which things are traveling to distract us from continuing to move forward. The sun is just about to go down, and a brand new year will present us with a broad horizon, an open road, and a full tank of gas. So I pray that this ever-accelerating journey on which we travel this year will be the one in which we stay safe and inspired. May we always steer in the right direction, charting our course with the good words we will speak, the kind deeds we will undertake, and the promising destinations we will choose. May all of our journeys in this new year keep us in good health and safety. And may this be a good, sweet year for us all. Amen.